for having us this morning. I would like to have Freddie Ziegler from the National Weather Service come up. He'll be doing the presentation to the department.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you guys having this kind of a short, about 10 to 15 minutes to kind of acknowledge Lorain County EMA and the works that they have done. The team, Dave, Michelle, Cassidy, and oh, geez, Roger. I remembered his name before, and I apologize, Roger. Some of the works that they have done, also with some of our forecasters, Raylene Campbell, she's part of the head of that. The StormReady program. The StormReady program was kind of teased out of an event that occurred in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I'm not going to go to a long story, but it's a tornado that struck Fort Smith, Arkansas. The works that the county EMA in the Fort Smith area and the National Weather Service were great, but there was no connection. The warning went out. There was about a 10-minute warning. EMA did their thing on their side, but again, there was no connection. The StormReady program makes that connection. So I'm going to read a little script here. It shouldn't take too long. When second count StormReady communities are prepared to help America guard against the ravages of severe weather, the National Weather Service has designed the StormReady program. And it is aimed to prepare the communities and towns across the United States with the communications and safety tools that are necessary to save lives and property. The top goal of the StormReady program is to prepare communities with an action plan that responds to the threat of all types of weather. So not only tornadoes, it could be winter storms, it could be a drought, freeze warnings, high wind. We are the agency that issues those warnings. You get the alerts on the phone. So that's what we do as far as preparing the mission. The understanding of our partners of the Lorain County EMA and the county EMAs across Ohio, we have to know what their mission is. They have to know what our mission is, and I think that's the trust, that building that connection. Once the community meets the preparedness, and there's a kind of a 3-page application that they have to go through, but there's some communications that we kind of do a checklist with. So one of the things we kind of do is actually establish. We want to know if there's an established 24-hour warning point and an emergency operations center. Lorain County has satisfied that. Have more than one method of receiving severe weather forecasts and warnings and alerting the public. Create a system that monitors the local weather conditions. You guys do that as well. Promote significant public readiness through community seminars. That's like the severe weather spotter training, the exercise that we are planning to do in, I think, November or December of this year. So that development, not only for just coming out to do storm surveys, I personally, as a part of the National Weather Service, I think it's more than just doing that. You don't want to, I don't want, if I'm coming into your community and visiting Dave and doing a survey, I don't want to be there for that. We want to do other building and other practices and other preparing to prepare for disasters that may come. So as an advisory board, it's comprised of the National Weather Service, not only the National Weather Service in Cleveland, but also Wilmington. There's also people that are EMAs across the Ohio that actually helps us to kind of go through some of the checks there. Actually, with state and local managers, they review the application of Lorain County EMA and visit the location. So we actually came out in March to kind of look at the warning point, kind of look at the EOC to make sure the application is matching up to what we are seeing physically at the EOC in Lorain County. Today, we are here to formally recognize the accomplishment of Lorain County EMA. The county will receive an official certificate, posters, and StormReady signs. So there's one StormReady sign there. And as a StormReady community, you are authorized to use the StormReady logo. So even on your website, you can use the StormReady logo along with the Weather Ready Nation ambassador. We also have letterheads on your brochures that can be used as well, and other documents as well. So a StormReady community must stay freshly prepared because the designation is only for 4 years. And so 4 years we'll be back here. I think it's not a visit, but it's 4 years of an expiration. As of right now, I want to say acknowledge the Lorain County and the Lorain County EMA staff. A job well done. A lot of works with my staff as far as helping you guys and also assisting, and I like to acknowledge that as well. So congratulations to Lorain County. I appreciate it. I do have some gifts, and I don't know if you want to take a picture of this, but this is the certificate for being.
Might want to turn it around to the camera this
Oh,
way.
this is on for the camera?
If you don't mind bringing the sign up, that would be nice, so,
Okay.
because they could see it with you back there, and, oh, no, you can see it right there, Dave.
You want me to put that under the screen here?
No, the sign, bring it up here to the screen, that way.
Okay.
The certificate we put on the screen, but the, so do you know how many counties in the state of Ohio are storm ready?
As a goal, we have 28 counties up in northern Ohio. So I'm not.
Okay.
I'm unsure the numbers. We've really been working on the Cleveland metro area. Lorain, I was just talking to Toby, a student volunteer. Lorain County, I think, has become I want to say the 50th. It's not, the state of Pennsylvania have all their counties.
Okay.
We're still working on, I think the last one in the Cleveland metro is Geauga County. So we're going to be working on them as well. But the majority of our counties in northern Ohio are storm ready.
Okay, good.
Victor's on YouTube, so no problem.
Okay. Okay, so we're good. No, we're good. Yeah, okay, good. If you see a lot of movement up here, I guess YouTube's having some problems, so people can't hear you, but it'll be corrected. So I didn't want you to start over and do it all over again, so.
Well, thank you very much for leadership, allowing us to present this.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. I'll get off a little bit, but I think the connecting with the National Water Service emergency Lorain County Emergency Management is very important. It really cuts down on the resilience. That seems to be the key word in the last 10 years. I think it's building trust, and the reaction time of Lorain County and our agency is very important. Especially when a disaster strike, we trust each other, we get the message out, and there's action, quick action, rather than kind of sitting by and waiting what to do. This plan really kind of puts into play when a disaster strikes.
Oh.
Thank you.
No, but thank you very much for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Dave and staff.
Okay, yep, no. Yep, they're gonna get back to work? Okay, good. Well, thank you for coming in, sir.
Ready?
Ready.
Under resolutions number 1, investments.
Victor, there we go.
There we go. Move to approve?
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations.
Okay. This is a significant appropriation list, and I'm going to let everybody know that the first 5 are general fund transfers, but the rest of these are not necessarily a transfer of general fund dollars. These are housekeeping issues that normally occur about this time of the year when budgets, are known and we can see, to the end of the year and what our needs might be. A couple of significant ones. Casey, would you like to address item number 6 and item number 15?
Certainly. Yeah, so 6, job and family. Yeah, so those are specifically coming, as you mentioned, those are not non-general fund dollars. Those are appropriations that are updating the budget for the Job and Family Services. So over various accounts. Yeah, so with it could be salary, supplies, whatever. As you mentioned, they are adjusting their current Job and Family budget to match what their outlook is for the remainder of the year. And then the same could be said for the Board of DD Murray Ridge on line 15. Thank you. The $4.6 million. Those again, same thing. They're adjusting their budget for for accounts and expenses that weren't known, I guess, at the earlier point of the year. And I believe the Board of DD, I believe there's a capital expenditure in there. That's why the number is so large, the $4.6 million. But again, as you mentioned, these are non-general fund dollars. These are coming directly from that special revenue fund source.
Good. And also, I thought it was interesting, the one on the sewer project for $1.9 million.
Right. Yep, so that that's $1.9 million. That's from earlier this year. The commissioners borrowed $2 million for that project, which is the South Boone Road sanitary sewer project. And I believe is that being awarded today, or it's been awarded. Okay. But regardless, that project they've bid. Okay, the engineers have bid out that project, and I believe it's ready to be awarded at the next project. So this is us allocating that $2 million that we borrowed to the individual expense line that project will be paid from. And then that specific $2 million, that debt service will be paid for out of a TIF that was. That's assessment. Okay, I'm sorry. Out of assessment, not a TIF.
Yeah.
But so again, same thing. That funding source is separate from again outside the general fund.
Good.
Anything further? Somebody like to make a motion in a second?
Move to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Dell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 3, transfers.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion.
I'd like to make a note, not for the individuals involved, but for line item 1. This is the way the county takes care of certain things. There's been some conversation over the last week or so about a significant transfer that occurred last year. But when somebody leaves the employ of the county, they have accrued vacation time and sick time and comp time that they may not have taken. So that gets paid out in a separate allocation, but is not considered part of the budget at this point. Casey, we may want to address that for 2025, just to, again, trying to make sure that all the department heads and electeds, manage their funds, appropriately. But that's the way that the county takes care of that. That's not a payoff of any litigation or whatever. Take note that it's for accrued vacation time. And last year, the prosecutor's office, they did a program, if you'd like to address that.
Yeah, 2 years ago, actually, we started, the prosecutor's office started a program where we did a job audit, because it hadn't been done, I think, since the late 90s. And as part of that job audit, it became apparent that a number of people were carrying vacation and sick balances well in excess of the statutory maximums, which are set up by statute, strangely. And it was determined that rather than just letting those balances carry over time, that we would clean it up and pay out those balances. And there's a statutory scheme to do that. You guys did the same thing this year with Kevin, I can't remember the consultant. Kevin Shabesta. So I believe that the commissioner started doing that because of the experience we had when we did the job audit in our office. And it's the same process. It's Jeff Riddell has 800 hours of vacation time or sick time, and he's only allowed to keep 350 or, whatever, and there's a payout structure that's done. That's what happened.
Yes, and I think, it's worth noting that as part of that process, the commissioners are doing it with the people under our direct employee this year, as Dan noted. But it includes job descriptions, and setting up the structure, the actual structure, for retention of employees and getting these things into the norm. And again, like I said, this is a case where the bookkeeping for government is a little different than business. It's one of those fights probably not worth fighting.
When I was in private practice, we had a use it or lose it policy, so.
Well, that's the world I came from too, so, yeah. We found that people that don't take the appropriate vacation, after a year or two of no vacation, they become very ornery people. So, at the end of the day.
Not you, Karen.
Nobody's looking at Karen right now, so.
So at the end of the day, in 2023, the prosecutor's office took a $190-some thousand charge off, and that was what Dan talked about. They cleared off all of those balances that were in excess of statute, cleaned everything up. But I did a review because of the current situation surrounding the street news and litigation, and the prosecutor's office actually underspent their budget last year by about $60,000. This type of stuff in the government accounting, where we pay off vacation and comp time and stuff, has generally just been paid out of the general fund and not affected the annual budget, because there's no real way to predict for the department head. They know how much time people will get by contract or employment agreement, but they don't know how much they will take or not take. So it's really kind of a nebulous, budget thing. And short of having a use it or lose it policy, there's really no way to predict these things. So glad to see that, and like I said, for the record, that settlement of all those, or what do you have, over 50 employees over there?
I believe 88, something like that.
So for 88 employees, call it 90 employees, and to have $190,000, this is not a huge windfall to anybody in the department. It's just cleaning up some things that probably should have been cleaned up before and weren't. So kudos to the department, and kudos to underspending the budget, and that $200,000 appropriation absolutely had nothing to do with anything else that's going on in the world of the prosecutor. So I just want to bring it to that attention because we had an example of it ourselves today.
Well, not only that, we're actually working this year for the commissioners, correct, Casey? I think you guys are working on that, so that we can fix our,
Correct, yeah.
and it's not an easy task,
We
is
did that
it?
study, and
Yeah.
we're working to, again, make sure that everybody's under that statutory level of
All right.
amount of time that they can carry. Correct.
And there's not much we can do with the other departments, the other electeds, is there? Or is that when it comes to budget time, we can start,
Lead by example.
that's what we can do, okay. Sorry, Casey, didn't put you on the spot.
My understanding is there are certain electeds that have done a pretty good job at this, so I don't know that this has been a common problem. I think it's been a spotty problem.
Oh, maybe during,
When we found out about this, I think we took a quick look, and there were certain electeds that had been on this and had been cleaning it up over
Okay.
time. So I don't know, Casey, the financial people probably know that better than I do, but I was.
well, maybe through the budget process, we can start talking and making sure to see,
Actually, in defense of Casey and the budget commissioner,
yeah.
I kind of myself, I attribute our need to do this now in the commissioner's office because we've not done in the past, we've not had a very successful HR program. And generally, this thing falls under the purview of the HR department. Some of the electeds have very good HR staff. Some of them, may not be up to snuff. But I appreciate, Dan, that, this is not widespread in the county, but when we discover it, we are handling it and getting things in line, and so that we can go forward correctly.
One quick note to that. It said, that's not something that we would necessarily have visibility to because, as you mentioned, each department has their own payroll and their own HR. So that's not something, comp time, amount of time that's being carried by employees outside of the commissioner's purview, that's not something that we would even have visibility to even be
And
able
I think
to.
all we're trying to do is make people aware of the statute, and then say, look, if it's also, I don't know that people necessarily look at that on a year-over-year basis unless they have a robust fiscal department, and a lot of departments don't. So you guys understand the spreadsheets far better than I do, but that was my understanding of it, is that unless there's a reason to look, you don't necessarily look. So we've been trying to tell people to go look.
Is there anything
Teresa?
further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 4, advances and repayments.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 5, requisitions.
Okay. Motion to approve?
Oh, it's page
Oh, wait a second.
103.
We have, we got,
Got 3 pages.
mine are out of order, I apologize.
No worries. We'll let it slide.
Page 2?
This is how NOACA survives, how the department's sending checks to them that's how they pay their administrative costs to run it. And that's how we get our big federal dollars coming back to Lorain County, so.
Okay, page 3.
Move to approve pages 1, 2, and 3 of the requisitions.
Second?
Discussion.
Yes, it's some of these requisitions, Casey, you may have something to add, but for instance, in the sheriff's department, there's a DARE grant. This is an advance by the county, and then when the grant comes in, the county gets reimbursed for the advance, but with the school year starting, you know, many of these grants are, you have to spend the money, then show you spent it in order to get reimbursed, and this is one of those. Did I get that right, Casey?
Close enough. That's good. That's good. Yeah, we got it.
So many of these items are normal and ordinary bills, but some of these, when it says advance, we're advancing the money in order to expedite the implementation of whatever it is we're trying to do. That's all I have, Teresa.
Okay. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 6, travel.
How many pages, just one, or? Okay, because it shows, okay. I got one right here. Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 7, bills.
Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. That covers the general fund. Move on to page 4, the special revenue funds. Page 5. And page 6.
Move to approve pages 1 through 6.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 8, county commissioners may recess an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, along with any other matters as specifically identified by motion in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22G 1 through 8. Unless expressly stated otherwise during executive session, matters discussed in executive session are designated by the county commissioners as confidential. Because the confidentiality of such matters is necessary for the proper conduct of government business, any disclosure outside of executive session is prohibited by Ohio Revised Code 102.03B. While in executive session, county commissioners may discuss and deliberate on the matters at issue, but no votes may be taken until open session resumes.
I do not have a need for executive session today. Anybody else on the board? Let's go ahead and show the,
Move to approve the personnel summary sheet.
Second,
Discussion?
we could congratulate Mr. Roger, but he left already. So we thank him for his work in EMA and everybody on the team, of course.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes,
Commissioner Riddell?
aye.
I don't have any forms for public comment on agenda items. Is there any old business?
Nope.
No. Board business. Number 9, approve and waive the reading of the county commissioners meeting minutes of July 19th.
So moved.
second,
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
yes,
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Number 10, authorizing the president of the board to execute the participation agreement with Kroger as part of the ongoing national opiate litigation.
Can I get a motion for that?
yeah,
Move.
move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
You want to explain what it is?
Yes, let's go ahead.
So we have, the county's been involved in a massive class action for, I think, 2016, 2017, against opioid manufacturers. You may remember that we signed off on settlement agreements, I believe, early last year. This is a proposed settle agreement with Kroger. I assume their pharmacies were selling opioids. But what we're being asked to do is approve the settlement before it's finalized. There's an opt-in and opt-out provision in the settlement for counties and governmental entities to decide to opt in. Our class counsel, which is the term for the lawyers who may manage a class action on the plaintiff side, have recommended we participate. We have to do that by the 12th of August. I think it is wise to participate since it's unlikely that Lorain County would go on its own in litigation that's costing hundreds of millions of dollars per year. So it's mostly a mechanical thing, but it will lead to, hopefully in the fall, the acceptance of a settlement from Kroger and the Kroger Group. That helps.
And I appreciate the motion. I just didn't want to give myself the authority to sign that, so.
And we've been talking about this for years, Dan, so you keep repeating this stuff and we get the emails on it. And I believe we talked a couple of years ago, about when that wonderful time is that the settlement, we receive it and, what it's going to go to. We've kind of talked about
Yeah,
options
we've
of
had,
that too.
we've
Yeah.
gotten, there have been some disbursements, right, but remember the first two settlements that we talked about, I believe are dispersing over 20 years. And they're dispersed in three different trenches. There's the state fund, the region fund, and then the county fund. And some of the, I've seen things come across for some of the townships. So the beginning of that disbursement is coming. Of course, the number is huge because you're talking about 50 states and all these different local entities. The township one, I just got one from a township and it was like $600 in the first of 20-year payments. So, but I believe we've got one or two payments come through the county.
We've had several, I was
Quite a
getting the
few.
number, but we just got over $500,000, on Friday, or
Yeah.
earlier this week.
Earlier this week, yeah.
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 So they're coming in. But speaking of that, I don't know if you caught the email. Are you still getting the DocuSign? Because I think I got Kanye to change it. I sent you an email earlier this week.
Been a lot of emails on this topic.
Yeah, I know, that's why I wanted to bring it up, but we want to make sure we get the DocuSign changed to the president of the board so that we don't have to do it in paper again, and that will be easier for them, and they won't yell at it, so.
Okay.
Okay, but just check, if you could check and make sure, see if it's still coming to you if they lost it somewhere, I'd appreciate it, thanks.
Anything further?
Yes, Casey, since you threw that number on the floor,
We had to know it was coming, Casey.
I'm trying.
500,000 gets my attention.
I'm sure it does.
So it's got plenty of zeros. So is that
So-
for county to use, or
To
do
date,
we
so-
have partners to share that with?
So to date, we've received $804,000. That doesn't include this $500,000 that we just got. So now we're up about $1.3 million. That's held in a separate fund, the One Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund. That's held out there because, much like any other dollars we get from things like this, there's strings attached. There's allowable uses that we can use these funds for. So right now, that all this money is set aside, separate from the general fund, separate from any other special revenue fund, and then it will be, I guess, up to your guys' discretion.
Can I add,
Who has that list? Do you have that, or does prosecutor have that list?
Of allowable uses.
Allowable use.
well, we passed the resolution, we have that, and I think that's what Michelle was referring to. I would ask Casey, and again, we all know numbers and me are not friends, but are we sure that 1.3 is county money and not Region 19, One Ohio money combined?
See, I think it is.
I think it is, but it could, Casey, I could be, you're the numbers guy, I could be wrong.
So this is money that has been
And set aside.
directed, sent to the county. We have in our coffers.
Okay,
That's
all right.
been money that's been sent to us directly from the settlement, or from the state.
Right.
Through the settlement, that we hold in county coffers. So this is our share of the
Right.
portion.
I just don't know if some of that is, again, to Commissioner Hung's point, some of the regional money is getting distributed to certain counties based on a formula. And that's covered by a different agreement than the resolution that we passed, I believe, in 22, over how we would fund certain things with the county direct money, but we can talk about that more.
Yeah, like I said, we had this money is, we're essentially just collecting it, and
Yeah.
we haven't, none of this money has been expended yet.
Yeah, well, we do have to revisit the One Ohio account, because we have a resignation letter from the appoint,
Or, like, Region 19.
yeah, because of Tom Stuber, may have been conflicted. And so I think in our next board meeting, the next Tuesday we meet, we need to fix that. So, because I believe at the end of August, they're gonna start divvying up the money. So
It's
we've gotta
getting
make sure we have somebody there that's gonna represent Lorain County, so.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where things are beginning to activate.
Right, and it's gonna be one of the things, like, this is kind of an important meeting coming up. And then after that, I don't think they'll have too many more meetings, because this is the dividing up of the money.
Well, and then it'll be the next phase, right?
Then when the, yeah,
You know,
then they meet again, and they're gonna, yeah, it's,
the Rite Aid settlements and the Kroger settlements and all of them. I mean, this is,
right,
in case it's not obvious for anybody, I haven't confused yet, this is a massively complex, multi-decade, I mean, there are companies
Yeah.
that went out of business, they're talking about places in Turkey and that are now derelict because nobody's, you know, it's a worldwide issue, it's gonna take a long time to work through. So-
no, but we're on top of it, so.
Yep.
And again, where would the president of the board get that list of permitted uses, from the prosecutor or the budget?
I'll pull it out, I'm sure I have the resolution that we did, if not Teresa does.
Yeah, Teresa does.
Yeah.
That's Teresa, she has it.
Teresa said she'll find it before I will. I'll head,
I know what you guys are talking about.
we don't-
I
we know what
look,
you're
I even
talking
have
about
it circled.
Because it took us a long time to put it
Yes,
together.
it did. It
Teresa,
did.
my apologies for not recognizing your control of the situation.
It's okay. Is there anything further? Commissioner Hung,
Yes,
Commissioner Moore,
Aye,
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 11, reappoint and appoint various members to Lorain County Corrections Planning, effective retroactive to January 1st of 24 through December 31st of 24. And that's Judge James Maraldi, President of the College, Domestic Relations Court Administrator, Common Police Court Administrator, County Administrator, Mars Board, Superintendent of Developmental Disabilities, Executive Director of Mars, Sheriff's Office, the Sheriff, Northeast Ohio Division Salvation Army, an Attorney, Chief Probation Officer, City of Lorain Police, President of the County Commissioners and his alternate, or their alternate, City of Lorain Police, Adult Parole Authority, Assistant Deputy Court Administrator, Mercy Hospital, Executive Director of NORD, Executive Director of CBCF, Prosecutor, Juvenile Probation, and Adult Probation.
so moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Yeah, do we have Judge James Moraldi? Does it matter? Is it because he's on there personally, or because he's representing the courts? Do we know?
He's the one that started and he's on there.
Okay, so-
period, for now.
So he'll be on there hopefully forever, right? Okay, just want to make sure that, because everybody else, I remember we changed this to put titles of individuals in there, so that, okay, good.
Okay.
And thank you, Judge Moraldi, for starting, all right?
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Rodow?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Stormwater Management, 12, enter into consulting services agreement with K.E. McCartney and Associates, Inc. for the engineer design and inspection services of Foster Ditch in the amount not to exceed $238,220, which will be paid from the professional services account.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
See, you want to have anything to add to it, or just, oh, Don, he's pointing.
I get real quick,
Look at all those microphones.
I don't mind talking, but I don't want to take the stormwater away from Doug.
Yeah, I know, it's,
So this, Foster Ditch is a grant that the county engineer and stormwater district actually worked on together. We brought $320,000 to help, reduce the cost of this ditch to the district. It is one that has plagued, Lorain Township for many years. ARPA is also being used to fund this ditch. It is gonna be a petition, ditch. The original survey done by Peters Wick in the engineer's office had it at over a mile and a quarter of improvement needed. And we had a couple of roads that would regularly go underwater, when it would rain. So what makes this special is that we were able to work with K.E. McCartney Coldwater Consulting and the county engineer's office to secure a $320,000 grant to actually do a ditch, or pay for a portion of ditch. I've never found a grant where I could do a ditch before. Normally I had to get fancy with doing wetland restoration, stream restoration, and as a byproduct of doing that, we're able to get stormwater detention and management out of it. But with the H2 Ohio program, this was specifically, we'll be building a self-forming channel. It's a conservation practice through a couple of farm fields that will provide not only improved drainage, but also detention so that we can get the water off our roadways and have the farm fields drain better, producing better income and better safety for our residents. And that's what this is about.
Thank you, Don.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
aye.
Commissioner Rodow?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 13, accept the engineer's report for the Kellner Ditch Restoration Petition by Village of LaGrange Township, and Carlisle Township, and schedule this final hearing for October 1st to 24 at 4:30 PM.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Rodow?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Okay. Transit, 14, entering in a contract with First Transit for operations and maintenance services at a fixed monthly rate and an hourly gate-to-gate rate on behalf of Lorain County Transit, effective retroactive from February 1st to 24 to December 31st to 28. There are 5 one-year renewal options. This will be paid from the contractual purchase services and vehicle repair and maintenance accounts.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Dow?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Children's Services, 15, authorize and rescind various personnel in Lorain County Children's Services Department to utilize the agency's MasterCard for the year 2024 not to exceed $2,500 in accordance with the permissible policy in the Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Dow?
Aye.
Engineer, 16, approve and enter in a subdivider agreement with Columbia Creekside LLC for Creek Ridge Subdivision Number 3 in Columbia Township. Subdivider has submitted proof of ownership, copy of its title commitment from Old Republic National Title Insurance Company, including proof of ownership and statement of tax payment, certificate of insurance for Westfield Insurance Company, and its engineer's estimate of construction cost. Copy of the color letter sheet was approved engineering plans and specification and agrees to bear all costs and expenses of the improvements and to pay all plan review, inspection, and testing fees.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Dow?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number
Sean,
7.
just a second. Sean, you raised your head, were you?
No, no.
Okay. I thought we ran over Sean.
He's still here.
Not going anywhere.
Okay.
Under the Sheriff, 17, award a contract to American Fire and Sprinkler LLC Cleveland in the amount of $256,000 to replace fire sprinkler heads at Lorain County Jail. Two bids were received on July 11th, this being the most responsive complying with specifications. Notice to proceed will be issued effective on or before September 1st and complete said contract within 100 days of issuance. Authorize administrator to notify the auditor to release retainage at completion of the contract, and this will be paid from the capital improvements account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Casey, just a question for this. Didn't we receive a grant for this?
Yes.
Karen tells me the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Oh, yes, yeah. We did. I don't, do you want more details?
Okay. I just wanted to address that. So the capital improvements fund is going forward with this, but we have a grant coming to reimburse us for some cost of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the majority of our grants work that way, so we actually have to pay for the services and then request the reimbursement after we've paid for it. Sometimes, I know like with the airport, we get a little mixed up getting the paperwork in place, but we end up getting all the funds that we need in order to reimburse us back for those costs.
Very good.
So that once the work is almost completed, or?
We pay as we go.
Right.
It says the contractor is submitting his pay application on a monthly basis. We approve that for payment, it goes through our system, and at the same time, we're reporting it back to the state that we've made this payment, and then they reimburse us electronically.
When will it be completed, do you think? Because it says here within 100 days.
100 days from
And,
September.
and how many years have we been waiting?
Over 20.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, we're getting things done.
If we'd have done it 20 years ago, they'd been worn out.
Well, it would've been, yeah, you're right, we'd have to replace them again.
Is there anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
18, amend Resolution 24-399 adopted June 18th to 24 regards to the Enterprise Fleet Management and Geotab for telematics of vehicles for Lorain County Sheriff's Office. This amendment is to reflect the account should be software, not equipment.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
TB Clinic 19, authorize administrator to notify the Budget Commission to forego the collection of levy funds related to the tuberculosis care in calendar year 25 for the whole territory of Lorain County.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes. Kind of missed it last year. We didn't get it done on time. So, Mr. Petticord, before I interrupt you, no, I'm just messing.
Actually, I was looking at an email from my secretary.
I know, no. So the process is, it has to go before we have to notify the Budget Commission,
Correct.
and then that's it, correct?
Yeah, it's a simple process.
Yeah.
This resolution, and I appreciate Teresa putting this together, this resolution just authorizes Jeff to send effectively a letter to the Budget Commission and saying, we've determined that we don't need to collect this year. That's
Yeah, it's that simple, and thank you to the tax settlement team down there. They kind of helped us. They gave us some examples for the language and whatnot. But yeah, we not you guys, or assuming you guys continue on and pass this resolution, I will pass this along with the request from Administrator Brewster to the Budget Commission, who during their next meeting will
Notify them
vote
of our
on it
intention.
essentially, and make note that collection won't occur next year.
Yeah, my understanding from the auditor, it's fairly mechanical.
Correct. But how do we ensure, because I guess we're suspending it, and we have to do this on an annual basis.
Correct.
And are you monitoring, because how much cash do you know, or am I catching off guard? Because my understanding was when we tried to do this last year, we had close to $1 million, and our expenses were like,
I mean,
200 to
barring
300.
a significant outbreak of
Right.
TB within the county, I think we're set for,
at least 7 to 10 years, right?
yeah, I mean, it's hard to project out
Yeah,
that far, but
wow.
yes, yeah.
Man.
We're set for a while. It is something that I'll report
Monitor.
back to you on an annual basis to make
Okay.
sure that our cash levels are still appropriate, and we'll have a better idea as well now that we're working with the health district. Once we have
Mm-hmm.
a year under our belt to see what the expenses are working with them, we'll have a better idea. of
Which should be
moving
cheaper
forward.
than what we've been paying, so,
Significantly.
yeah.
Paul is very confident that he can do this in a much more,
Mark.
well, he came in and probably.
Right.
He is, and
Mark
Mark,
Adams,
I'm sorry,
Mark Adams.
wrong
Wrong
Adams.
Adams.
Mark is very confident he can do this much more efficiently than we were doing through university.
Correct.
And Mark and his team have been awesome to work with. They've been great throughout this whole process, through the transition. They've been great to work with so far, so.
Well, hopefully we close the border and TB will stay away, but if they're open, we're gonna maybe you have to stop suspending them, huh? I did that for you. Look, Casey's laughing. I have some fun with them sometimes. Well, thank you for all the work, everyone that did this. I appreciate it.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Dell?
All right,
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Assistant County Administrator's update.
Deputy.
Yes,
Yeah, Deputy.
I have no update to provide the board today.
Oh,
Thank you.
Well, then I'd like to give you something, just so you don't go away. He didn't come here for nothing, but it might be appropriate. I see we lost one, but our 2 interns were taking in the meeting today. You know, Aiden is still here, but we lost his cohort, but, I want to say thank you for coming to the meeting. Hopefully, this is the most exciting part of your internship. And we'll encourage you to take up public service, public employment when you graduate high school.
Mr. President,
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll just offer a special thanks to Hannah and Aiden as well. They did help us out in a pinch at the front desk, and of course, we do appreciate that.
I just had a question, Karen, if you wanted to talk about the via transport,
Oh, the
program
microtransit?
and how it's going. I did not take them, whatever you wanna call it, magnifying glass to the ad, but I got a couple of calls on how the ad was paid for and who paid for it, so if you wanna just kinda do the whole thing on it and what happened, and that way they can stop asking me.
Sure, the recent advertisement was worked on with Amy, myself, and Mr. Armbruster. And we also included the All Media Group to put the ad together for us. And it is in both the Chronicle and the Lorain Journal. And Lorain County Transit is paying for that ad.
And how's it going? Just
Oh,
kind of like a
microtransit.
victory lap here to tell us what's going on with it.
So we meet weekly with VIA, and they are providing us with updates, and we're also getting real-time reporting, which is pretty amazing for Lorain County Transit. VIA has notified us that we are one of the most successful startups that they've had since they've started doing this.
Do you have all the, because I remember I had the numbers, I was on WOBL doing a half hour on all the numbers, like 56% of the riders are from Lorain, 54%
From
from,
Elyria.
yeah, Elyria, and
Yeah.
like a 94%, what do you call it, happy customer.
Yeah.
And the average ride is 10.19, minutes, and the average wait time was under 10 minutes. So it was really the data the real-time data is awesome to get that
is.
kind of stuff in a government. Well, that's because this is government and private business working together. And what's starting to happen is what I was hoping was going to happen, is other communities are now saying, we want in. Okay, but I'm telling everybody, you need to wait about a year for us to get a grip on what the actual costs are going to be, because we're not going to get federal grant dollars all the time to help fund this pilot program.
Right.
We
Right.
hope we will, right?
Yeah, that would be nice. But, I mean, one thing, of course, we're always talking about the positives here. But the great thing for transit and transit staff is that when we have a complaint call, we're able to address that and get that information back to the customer and make some adjustments. And we're collecting all of this information as we go along. So I guess an example I can use, there is a medical facility that is like a half-mile outside of Lorain's service area. And that medical facility serves quite a few people that could use microtransit. So as we're gathering this information, we're able to kind of adjust that service area to include those higher need locations. And we're still being able to do that without going outside of our budget. So we can expand it a little bit in the south and then shrink it a little bit in the north, so it's kind of neat to be able to do that. And Pam and Shannon in Transit, they've been doing a heck of a good job. We're also able to look at the map and determine that the microtransit route is taking folks and dropping them off at the emergency room at University Hospital here in Elyria. So you pick that pin and you move it up to the main entrance. And that's all you have to do in order to modify that route so that the folks are going to the correct entrance. I mean, it's pretty amazing the way this is working. And we've just installed like the geotab on our fixed route buses. So we actually have the same ability to do that with our fixed route buses.
Oh, wow.
So when somebody calls and says, I'm at the bus stop, when is the bus gonna get here? We can look on the map and see where that route is and how long it's gonna be before they get to the
That's
stop.
quick. I thought that was gonna come in about 6-7 more months.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
we just started it this week.
Wow.
And the same thing is happening with Dial-A-Ride. So there's all this new technology. It's been out there. I'm excited. Transit folks are all excited that we finally have it, and we're implementing these things, and it seems to be working well. And again, it helps us address the complaints that we get and be able to give them a real answer instead of, well, I don't know when the bus is going to get there. We actually can tell them when. So.
Karen, actually, you and I were talking about this in my office yesterday, just to kind of give, and you did, give the kudos to the team at Transit. And Pam Novak is one of those ones that she kind of shies away from the attention, but next time, Pam, we're going to get you out there and get her in that picture.
Get her in the picture. Yeah, I mean, they've been doing a heck of a good job, and, you know, Shannon, she's new to our staff, but boy, she just kind of picked up the challenges that we had, and she's helping Pam, and she's helping Via, she's helping our customers, so a great addition to the staff. And then, of
Thanks
course,
for the
there's
update.
KC and the budget man over here. We always need KC.
The budget man. Let me get a hat. Kind of like the Candy Man. We'll have a song and everything
Yeah,
for
the
you.
budget man.
He's like, don't give my kids any ideas here, guys.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Okay. The only thing I have is Wednesday, August 14th at 2 will be our Records Commission meeting. Thursday, August 15th at 10 a.m. will be our Land Bank meeting. Thursday, August 22nd at 8 a.m. is our Visitors Bureau meeting. And Tuesday, August 27th at 11 a.m. is our IAC meeting. Board course
IAC.
Investment Advisory. I'm sorry. I'm so used to using all these. Yes. And in between all that, we'll have commissioners meetings too, so.
And a
board-
fair?
And a fair,
Wow.
at the end, yes, at the fair. Board correspondence,
I will make the motion to waive the reading of the board correspondence.
Second.
discussion. Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Dell,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Is there any new business? No, okay.
None?
And I have no forms for public comment either.
Thank you all for your attendance today. We are adjourned.
Just so we're clear,